Audlin on a What If Wednesday, and it's great to connect with you. I'm here live in our member resource library, so I'll be sharing the recordings with you in our community. But if you want to join live, you just log into our membership portal, and at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, here I am. And I would love to hear from you. I'd love to connect, hear your wins. What if up with you? It's our chance to connect. So these are my office hours. I'm here for you every week on Wednesdays, each week exploring a new idea and a new possibility. So I wanted to share an idea that has really gripped me in the past week. I've been reading this book that I received as a gift from my buddy Joe Vitale. So thank you, Joe, for this. This is a really great read. So it's called From What Is to What If. And of course, Joe was like, you got to read this, Mindy. It's about what if upping, not what if upping by that name, but it's about the power of what if. It's actually about how do we respond to the climate crisis. And the main idea is that, we have a lot of challenges ahead of us. And it's really important now more than ever to be imaginative, to be creative, to tap into the resourcefulness that humans have to be able to solve big problems, because we have big problems. And what if we have the capacity to solve those as long as we take the time to do it? So a lot of the things in this book are about how our attention has gotten sideswiped by technology and our imagination is really taking the hit. In fact, it was showing some studies that showed, of course, this could be a coincidence, who knows, but it shows as we increase in our use in technology, that our creative capacity goes down at the same slope as the chart goes up in terms of using technology. There seems to be a connection between these little devices and our ability to be creative and to be resourceful and to tap into the power of our imagination. One of the things that I love about our community, that is so powerful about our community, is that it gives us a lot of the things that it says are important to be able to make the most of your imagination, to be able to be a powerful and productive problem solver. A lot of the strategies that it suggests are things that are foundational to our community. Things like coming together with other people, being social. So if you've ever been to a What If Up circle, whether it's an online circle or I really love our local chapters, our local circles that meet, because one of the things we do in the very beginning, like the way it starts, is by just hanging out together, just spending time together. So sometimes there's beverages or snacks or things like that. And there's a time of just pure connection. And I've had, in the past, I've had leaders that say, oh, I skip to that. We just want to get to the content. And I'm like, that is the content. That is that the time that we spend just being with each other is really important to provide some space for our brain. So it's not just, information, or the next tweet or the next ping or the next alert. It's important for us to give ourselves some space. So What If Upping creates that bubble where we can connect with each other, which is great for your brain, great for your imagination. We can connect with ourselves, answering the question, what do I want? What do I want? We take some time to reflect. What do I want right now? And where I am in my path right now in my journey, what do I want? That space to ask yourself that question is a really important space to create. And the other thing we do is we then what if up with each other. So we practice being creative. We practice taking a desire, a future goal, a challenge, a problem, and bringing to it the resources of our imagination. We do it on an ongoing basis as a discipline. And it's a great way to sharpen your imagination. And the imagination is so important because all the challenges that we have, none of them are going to get solved unless we get creative, right? So there's so many things I underlined in here and I wanted to share, and I can't share them all. Here's some statistics. So just to point this out, just in terms of soak this up. Okay. So it says that in 2018, total media consumption for adults in the United States, and that is just electronic media, meaning TV, radio, time online, gaming, smartphone. So I guess it's not counting going to the movies, things like that. It says that was, any guesses? Put it in the comments. Any guesses how much time the average person in the United States spends on their electronic media? In 2018, it's probably more now. Just think pandemic, what happened to us? 2018, it was 11 hours and 6 minutes a day was the average. In 2014, it was 9 hours and 32 minutes a day. Now, I know some of us, like right now, we're here, we're online. So just an awareness that technology is not all bad. And I'm not saying get rid of it completely. What I'm suggesting today for What If Wednesday is what if we become very mindful about the ways that we use our technology? What if we ask ourselves at any given moment, is this use of technology, is it serving me? Is it serving the people that I love? Is it serving my relationships? Is it serving the planet? Am I doing something good for myself and for others through what I am doing right now with technology? And I would assert that when we come together as a What If Up community, that is a really good use of online time. It is amazing that we can come together. Some of you are part of my family, and yet I haven't ever met you in person, but I've What If Upped with you for years, and I feel like I know at least this snippet of your journey. It's a level of connection that we've created online. So not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, but saying, how can we use our media so that it catapults us, so that it serves us in creating the life, the community, the world that we want. So this book in particular is focused on climate change and just saying that, we've got some big challenges, and in order to solve those problems, we need to be creative. I like this quote. So this is a quote that is about how distracted we are. He gives a little synopsis where he says, imagine if Van Gogh had come home and when he had this gift of sunflowers that was given to him, if he was like, oh, that's nice, and then he posted it on Instagram and put it on Facebook and told everybody, hey, I got sunflowers, instead of just really being present with it and seeing how beautiful they were and painting them and leaving us with this beautiful legacy. Every time we pick this up and it distracts us from perhaps a creative moment. How often are we picking it up and letting it break our train of thought? So what if we give ourselves creative space? What if we give ourselves some daydreaming space? And what if that daydream is not the distraction? What if it's the things that keep us from daydreaming? What if that's actually the distraction? Okay, so this is a quote. It says, we didn't really fully know the effects of the vast social experiment that we were undertaking on ourselves and on our children. So, not our fault. There are companies that are, psychology, that like the psychology of connecting us to these technologies. It's amazing what they know about how we think and how to keep us hooked in and how to keep us looking at the next thing. So it's not our fault. It's just something that we have to be mindful about. So we didn't understand the costs of distraction and the downsides to inhabiting a digital world, how it dismantles cultures that are built on face-to-face communication. Think about it. What are the things that you do these days where you're actually face-to-face in a room with someone? I was in a class last night, a writing class, and it was the first in-person class I've taken in a long time. And it felt really good, but it's like, wow, it's been a while. So some of that face-to-face human connection that used to happen because we had to have it happen, it's the only way we could get things done. It's been dismantled. So it also says abandoning the kinds of reverie, musing, and what if questions that are foundations of imagination and hence the building blocks of envisioning and creating a better world. So the whole idea is if we don't take time to nurture our imagination, what happens is we lose our capacity to be able to imagine a world without the challenges that are here now, right? So can we, you can watch the movies and you can see all the apocalyptic Armageddon, end of the world scenarios. You can watch the news and you can kind of get the same message. Or we can imagine, like, what would it be like if we could take the technology that we have and use it to create a more sustainable future? What if we could create this vision for what would that look like? How would my life be different? What if I live in an off-the-grid green home? What if I grow my own food? Or what if I shop at the local farmer's market? What if everything I buy is grown within 10 miles of my house? What if I walk places and ride my bike? And what if I live in a community where things are accessible by foot traffic and by not needing to drive everywhere? What if I have a staycation that's just as fulfilling as flying around the world? What are some things that I could do that what might make the world a better place for myself and for the future generations? So that's what we're doing. We are the how-to guide for what this book is all about, going from what is to what if. What if is the key that unlocks the possibilities that can take us wherever we want to go. So it's important. And I share that because we have this amazing, vibrant community here. This online community is amazing. We have small groups that are popping up all over the place, and they pop up because maybe someone like you, says, you know what, I would like to be one of those people that is bringing together people to sit together face to face in a little circle. My friends, my neighbors, my colleagues, my coworkers, people in my local community. What if you were to get together, call a couple friends, 3 or 4 friends, and say, hey, do you want to start this little group? That's the invitation. We can do a lot online, and I love the engagement online, and I love being here with you online, and I love being able to work with leaders all over the country, all over the world, because we have this technology. And what I know for sure is that the best use of your creative ability is in getting in a chair and sitting next to another human being face to face, and then doing it again and again and again and again. That there are ideas that will come up. There is a connection that can come up, that as much as this is a nice plan B to be online, like it's a nice backup because I can't be everywhere. But if I could, I would be sitting with you in your living room right now. I would be sitting with you at the coffee shop, and we would be having a conversation with as many of our local friends and neighbors as we could possibly pull together. So that's the invitation. If you're feeling like, I really want to make a difference, not just in my own life, but I want to hold the space for people to be able to tap into the power of their imagination. I want to hold the space where we can think about some of the big challenges that we have as individuals and as communities. And I want to hold the space where we can brainstorm some solutions. We can maybe even take those ideas into inspired action, and not only take actions for, getting our own task list done, but take some actions together as a local community to make our neighborhoods better, to make our communities better, to bring some sunshine, to bring some greenery into our local space. What if little groups popped up everywhere, all over the world, and people were looking for solutions? And what if we were all tied together through this network so that we could share the ideas that are coming up? We could share the inspired ideas that are coming, and inspired actions that are coming out of those ideas. And we can celebrate with each other the changes that we are able to make. It is a discipline. It requires setting aside the time. And as much as, I love being here with you online, I really want to encourage you to find some people locally. Get together. There is a training this Saturday. It is an orientation, so it's no commitment. It is no charge. Come check it out. Find out what it would mean to start a What If circle near you. Or if you're interested in, maybe you're a coach or a retreat leader or a facilitator speaker, that orientation will give you some other options for ways you can bring this process to the people that are in front of you, people in your community, in your neighborhoods. So that's the invitation. What if we fan the flames of our imagination? And what if every challenge we have, no matter how big and daunting it may seem, what if there is an idea within us that can create a change, positive change? So that's the invitation. Thank you for joining me on this What If Wednesday. What are your ideas? What are your possibilities? What do you see as possible when we come together to create that space, that creative space for supporting each other and problem solving? What if we make some amazing friendships? What if we get connected to our community in a way that is powerful and meaningful? What if we find that loneliness disappears and connection and belonging takes root in a way that is life-changing for us and for everyone that we bring together? So I would love to support you in making that happen. I have a fabulous group of leaders, and I love supporting our leaders in making the changes in your communities. This is a grassroots movement, and it happens because people like you say, yes, I'm ready to step up. and I want to give it a go. I want to give it a try. So if that's you, I would love to connect with you this Saturday. Go to whatifup.org and you'll be able to click on resources and it'll say start a circle. Click on that. That'll give you the registration link for our webinar. So that's it for today, friends. What if we get very intentional about how we use these little devices this week? What if we put our focus on human interaction, human connection? What if we look for opportunities to sit down in our local community with someone and get to know them just a little bit better? And what if in doing that, not only are we a blessing for them, but what if it takes us to new levels of creativity, productivity, joy, and happiness? So I wish that for you all. Thanks for joining me on this What If Wednesday. Hope to see you